Call 762 all night.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
After an outbreak of violence in our schools across the area from Aiken to Burke County, you can expect new safety measures not only in the classroom but after school too. News 12 started.
But first,
Meanwhile, the again tomorrow to finalize this because they're not sure if they have enough players willing to travel to play in that game.
So today, Josie, Murphy Middle, and Marion Barnes Career Center all empty. Not a student, not a teacher in sight since the board opted to give students the rest of this week off to recover after that shooting. Since gunfire rang out in the school, security has been a big concern.
Tonight, the president of the Board of Education is speaking about what he would like to see going forward. Our Nick Veland live at school with what he had to say.
Yeah, well, school board president Charlie Walker Jr. says what happened here yesterday is something that they don't invite into schools. But now, since it's happened, he says they need to relook at some safety precautions.
A parking lot now empty. Josie High School now won't have students for the rest of the week because of the shooting. And moving forward, closing schools is a case-by-case basis.
We can't be intimidated to shut down our schools because of incidences like this. If that were the case, then we may never be open. So we have to take it, incident by incident. But we're hoping, and I know most of the community does, that things like this don't continue to happen.
Board President Charlie Walker Jr. says that some of this hostility is from hostility brewing over the summer, with school now being the common ground. Now he wants to make harsher consequences.
Say, look, we need to up whatever that is. If there's a certain percentage of and again, it's a very small percentage, but if there's a certain percentage of the students in our school population that just don't want to be there, then maybe they shouldn't be there.
Discussion of metal detectors may take place, but says there's more to it than just checking for weapons at the door.
People talked about, scanners and stuff like, well, we can't scan somebody's mind. That just doesn't exist. So if we don't know what the thought processes are in people who want to do something stupid or bad or disruptive, that technology doesn't exist yet. And when it does, bring it to us and we'll use it.
Metal detectors still might be added if it makes the community feel safer about coming to school.
And Walker Jr. says he's looking to bring together the board, the sheriff's office, the marshal's office, and other members of the administration of the Richmond County school system to possibly make these changes and possibly deter students from making these decisions.
Sounds like a reminder that school is in fact a privilege. They're privileged to be there. Nick, thank you for the update there.
Well, the weather today has weakened into next week. We're looking at a pretty decent warm-up. We are expecting those temperatures to get back above average, and that humidity will make a return as well. We'll have much more on this coming up in that full forecast.
Riley, thanks. It's been almost 2 weeks now since that big fight broke out at Aiken High School, interrupted during lunch, spilling over outside, sending one student to a hospital. And when the dust cleared, police did find a knife.
Now school leaders are adding at least 4 new safety measures for students, like random weapon screenings. They're also continuing to use their clear bag policy they put in place last school year for events. Students in the 8th grade and below have to be accompanied by an adult, so this is for events like a football game. High school students must have school or government ID to get in without an adult. And parents can expect even more changes coming soon. Our Taylor Martin is at Aiken High School with the latest.
Well, there have been concerns about safety for students and staff. And now with the new increased safety measures, the Aiken County Public School District is doing something about it. When Raquel Drumming sends her 3 Aiken County students to school, a level of fear comes over her.
No parent or guardian wants to get a call or see on social media that there's something going on at school without the school officials, contacting us first.
Now with new safety measures like weapons detection, clear bag procedures at athletic events, additional school resource officers, and much more, some questions still remain.
I got the email, but when will it be put in place? Like, we shouldn't have to go through all of this now, this school year, for it to finally be put in place.
The school district also says they will require all middle school students be accompanied by a parent or guardian at least 21 years old to all school-sponsored events, and high school students will have to show ID and their Power School information for entry. But when safety concerns rise,
Who can our children talk to?
in addition to all of the new safety measures, the school district is exploring community partnerships to educate students on dangerous activities while also encouraging positive engagement. The school district says they may add additional restrictions in the future, and while these changes might be inconvenient, they say it's for the safety of their students. Reporting in Aiken County, Taylor Murray, on your side.
Also today, the Burke County Sheriff's Office confirming several fights at Burke County school system stem from gang activity. Earlier this month, the school district had multiple fights in just the first week of school. Now the Sheriff's Office says they're adding more patrols at football games moving forward. With tomorrow night's big rivalry game against Thompson High, Wrdw Dick Herber explains some of the changes.
Many schools in our area have had issues with violence during the first few weeks of school. Burke County High School is no exception, but they are taking extra precautions for tomorrow night's game in order to keep everyone safe.
Times are a little bit different now in regards to the way it used to be.
And tomorrow night's rival football game will likely bring a big crowd.
So tomorrow, we're expecting a huge crowd with it being game one, with it being Thompson, who's a huge rival.
But you can never be too careful.
With the most recent history of disturbances that we've had in some of the schools and some of our surrounding schools, we've elected to up our security measures a little bit more as everyone comes in and participates and attend the game.
And in light of recent events,
we'll certainly prosecute that to the fullest extent of the law. We will not tolerate that, but we will not hide and say that we don't have an issue with gangs within the community.
they will have 5 to 10 additional officers at the game.
The increased number of deputies, it should not be alarming to anybody, but at least they know that we're here. We're here to protect them, keep them safe, and if they need anything from any one of us, all they have to do is come up to us and ask.
But they say it is also up to the parents to talk to their kids.
Conversations with your kids to let them know that gang activity is not the way to be, or it's not the way to go. And so having those conversations, a lot of those things start at home. And so having those conversations at home with the children will certainly help in these incidents.
The Sheriff's Office says despite recent fights, this is purely precaution. They don't have any intel that anything bad is expected to happen, but if you see something, say something. In Burke County, Wrdw Dick Herber, on your side.
So the beginning of a brand new football season, you hate that all the emphasis and spotlight is on school security, but
I know.
that's where we are
Really
right
a
now.
bummer. We're already hearing from parents concerned that their kids who've worked so hard all summer aren't going to get to play in some cases in
Right.
these football games. So we're talking to those parents tonight at 11.
Absolutely. Well, just into our newsroom, the Georgia Power Company telling us they are starting now to load nuclear fuel into Unit 4, the newest unit at Plant Vogtle. Unit 3 just going online in the last few weeks and giving power to an estimated 500,000 homes and businesses across the southeast. Unit 4 expected to be fully functional by the end of this year or early next year. Units 3 and 4 are part of the first newly constructed nuclear units in our nation in the last 30 years. So there's a lot of spotlight on this local company here. The plan is years behind schedule, 17 billion. This development, this is so project.
Law enforcement agencies, including SLED and the Aiken County Sheriff's Office, are investigating massage parlors in North Augusta. Now they're asking for your help for information on anything suspicious, any possible illegal activities you might have noticed with those businesses. Take a look at the list. 6 of the massage parlors in North Augusta, 1 in Aiken. Georgia Avenue Massage and North Augusta Flower Massage are both on Georgia Avenue. Lily's or Lisa's Massage is on Marketplace Drive, and Tea Aroma Massage is on West Martintown Road. Lotus Massage on Edgefield Road, Leisure Massage on Edgewood Drive, and Tea Aroma Massage on Eastgate Drive. The Department of Homeland Security and other local agencies are also part of a joint investigation, so if you've seen anything suspicious in any of these massage parlors, call authorities. As we continue our coverage on the Josie High School shooting, parents are questioning how safe school is. Our Hallie Turner spoke to some parents today to see how they feel and what they want to see going forward.
2 parents share the same love for Augusta and the schools they grew up in, the same ones their children now attend.
Josie's a good school.
While they don't want the school system to get a bad name,
I don't want all the students of Josie and Murphy to be labeled as bad children, as problem children, because every school has a child that they act up. We just wonder how somebody got the gun in the school.
Wednesday's shooting made it clear changes need to be made.
These things need to change with the metal detector, and children do not need to bring weapons to school.
On top of metal detectors for the students, they're asking for wellness programs.
We need to offer more to the teachers as far as wellness programs, mental health, and I know they have counselors, but the schools need more budget.
We checked, and per student, as of 2020, Richmond County receives more than $10,000 per student at Josie High School. Murphy Middle, where the fight started in the shared cafeteria, receives about $7,300 a student. And at Butler High, where a fight broke out, they receive a little more than $8,200 per student.
And my children, when you see it look like it's about to go down, go the opposite direction.
They say school leaders can't do it all, and it's a community effort to create a safe learning environment.
Safety measures have to be first.
In Augusta, Hallie Turner on your side.
Richmond County School Superintendent says metal detectors are top of conversation right now, but they don't know if they'll be putting them in the school yet.
We keep hearing metal detectors brought up, and that's something we'll keep an eye on as this debate continues. Okay, we're hitting the road for the upstate, exploring this tunnel to nowhere in today's One Tank Trip. It's coming up.
And weather-wise, we're going to hang on to lower humidity over the next couple of days, but temperatures will be increasing next week. We'll have the full forecast coming up. Heat next week.
Tucked away in the mountains of Walhalla, South Carolina, is a tunnel to nowhere. It's called the Stump House Tunnel.
It's an educational park now, but it's worn a lot of different hats over the years. One university even used the space to cure cheese back in the day. Will Volk takes us to the upstate for this week's One Tank Trip.
If you're looking for a place to cool down, why not here?
I always look for some kind of a unusual destination, and I saw this Stump House Tunnel. My lord.
Sam Phillips decided to visit Stump House Park. It's home to trails, mountain views, and a waterfall. But what makes this park unique is this nearly 160-year-old tunnel.
They recommend a flashlight, and when you got deep enough, you understand why they recommended a flashlight.
Carrying only the light from my phone, I decided to walk into the dark tunnel by myself. It was originally supposed to run through the Blue Ridge Mountains, but construction stopped when the South Carolina State Legislature refused to give more money. Now, it's a tunnel to nowhere.
It's pitch black dark, and you hear the dripping of the water.
It's also cool. Inside the mountain, the temperature naturally stays around 50 degrees. That's why, years ago, Clemson University cured blue cheese in here. So the air is cool, but it is dark in here. Watch what happens when I take my light away. Hello? I made it as far as I could go. How do I get back? Just turn around and look for the light at the end of the tunnel.
You won't get lost. You just turn around and you see the bright light.
Walking into the light, Will Volt, on your side.
Glad he made it back out of there.
Yeah, he looked like he was running towards the light.
Yeah, I think
as we
I
all
would too.
shall one day.
Maybe it's a cooling center. You know, you're in there for the coolest place in South Carolina,
Yeah,
right there.
Right around August as we're hitting that heat wave. Doesn't sound bad.
Stump House Park, about 2.5 hours away north of Walhalla.
And you only have to pay for parking, which costs $5.
Do it on a hot day.
Absolutely. Pretty neat journey. Don't do it if you're claustrophobic, though. The first football Friday of the season, just one sleep away. Next in sports, Dan breaks down 2 of Week 1's 4 interesting high school football matchups.
A car wreck can change your life in an instant, and what you do after that can affect your life for years to come.
After a car wreck, you need help. Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nines. We have the experience to help you get the money that you deserve.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
In about 24 hours, teams across the CSRA will be kicking off the 2023 high school football season. Luckily for us, Week 1 is filled with great matchups across the board. One of the more important interstate games that we have is a showdown between Strom-Thurmond and Laney. Both of these teams have a boatload of talent returning, especially on offense. The Rebels and the Wildcats have themselves a stud wide receiver with University of Tennessee commit Braylon Staley suiting up for Strom-Thurmond this year. year, and all-state wide receiver Carl Holmes entering his senior season for Laney. Fans in attendance should expect that scoreboard to be lighting up a lot in this one. Over in Aiken, former Barnwell head coach Dwayne Garrick is heading into his first season leading the Hornets, and their first test is the Lakeside Panthers. Between the coaching change for Aiken and Lakeside completely changing their offensive philosophy, there's a lot of news coming into this season for both of these teams. With Coach Garrick and Coach Hibbets patrolling the sidelines, this could be a really fun matchup between a couple of teams that have a lot of everybody night 11 o'clock you can stay up to date on all things high school football by watching your TV, logging on to wrdw.com, and turning on all of our streaming apps.
Great idea, Dan. Football is back. Thanks so much. The concrete laid, the steel beams are up on the new Kroger going up along Gordon Highway. Crews broke ground here back in January. You can see a lot of progress on the inside as well. This $32 million investment will create about 300 jobs and also help fill the need for fresh groceries in the area and shorten the drive to the store for a lot of people. This new Kroger expected to open up in the spring.
Well, high temperatures over the next couple of days will be hitting the 90s, so it will be hot, but luckily not too humid for us. Now look at those cooler mornings in the 70s just after break.